Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Popcorn and Possibilities. Today, here for part 2 of Sci-Fi Summer. Steph, how are you doing today?
It sounded like you were legitimately in, 2x speed mode. I got very thrown off. I'm doing great, Brian. How are you?
Good. I was about to say, with your host, Summer Sanders.
Yes! Oh, God.
Figure it out. That show will be, forever burned in my brain.
Figure It Out was awesome.
It was.
I think that's where my love of, puzzles came from and, figuring things out.
Do you remember any of them?
I always remember they were, whack as hell. They were all so weird, but no, none distinctly come to mind. Why? Do you have
I feel
one
like there was,
burned in your brain?
one where it was, a kid can bite cheese in the shape of states or whatever. You're like, how is this? This is a talent? This is what we're rolling out here? But I was always so curious about the slime. Is it edible? You know?
I doubt it. It looks
covered
disgusting.
in it.
Ugh, it looks awful. I would say it's probably, non-toxic, but it's not recommended for human consumption.
High fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. You don't have to call poison control, but you shouldn't be drinking it by the gallon either.
Yes, exactly. Well, speaking of green things, what a tie-in here.
That was an interesting segue.
Oh, they said that you sounded like an owl last episode.
Ha ha ha. I'm not buying in.
I saw that clip this morning and I got a kick out of it. Sorry.
Rolodex of what
Who?
could have led somebody to say that? And then I realized you were baiting me. Thwarted.
But yeah, so we're in part 2 of Sci-Fi Summer. We are mixing the two movies together of The Fifth Element and Starship Troopers. A lot of alien bug guts were green.
A lot.
Green was like a pristine blood color back then in these actions.
Especially in these action sci-fis. Yeah, it really was.
So both these movies, a little bit of a wacky sci-fi, cult classics, if you will.
Definitely.
We watched Fifth Element first. I'm going to be blunt here and just say I feel like it missed me a little, but it was also, we watched it a couple weeks ago, so it's a little not as fresh on my mind as Starship Troopers is. But early thoughts, this is one of your top-ish movies? No? You like it?
For
no?
For sci-fi?
For sci-fi.
Yes,
yeah.
Definitely. It's interesting because they're both crazy, over-the-top sci-fi-esque movies, but in completely different ways. One, if you strip away the bugs and space and, all of the sci-fi elements, what you really get is a movie about, war and fighting against some big bad and all that.
Right.
And obviously there are some themes about, propaganda and indoctrination and things like that. So at its core, very real, very meaningful topics, just wrapped up in this fun sci-fi action bow. Whereas the Fifth Element is wouldn't it be cool if this is what the future looked like? And this is how people got around and bring that back. Remember when the movies used to make the future look sick?
Mm-hmm.
Cars flew, teleportation was a thing, travel was revolutionized. I feel like we don't... Now, unfortunately, the future is always this post-apocalyptic wasteland, and you don't get the cool fun.
It's super depressing.
Yeah, you don't get the...
We're getting too
fun,
real.
Yeah, the whimsy that used to be there. But my point in that is where Starship Troopers is grounded in some very real themes.
Yeah.
The Fifth Element is just a fun action sci-fi movie. It's all fantastical. The world is fantastical. The characters, the costume, everything about it is funky and fun and futuristic. Whereas even if you think about the costumes, like in The Fifth Element, everything's bright colors and it's over the top and it's very ornate. You're looking at uniforms for most of Starship Troopers. Like there's no... And they're dark colors. There's not as much of that whimsy. I'm going to go back to that word that you see in The Fifth Element. They're very similar in a lot of ways, but also very different.
Yeah, but I almost feel like it was two different like points that they were trying to make. Where
definitely
like Starship Troopers was definitely trying to give off that like army like Nazi-ish type vibes with the outfits.
Yes.
I do agree. It is crazy because it's like when you were a kid growing up, you used to like flying cars was just like a given. Thing.
Yes.
And to like now you're in the future and you're just
I'm still
doom
driving,
scrolling
baby.
on the fucking internet with still a gas car for the most part.
Yeah. Or worse, there's no gas stations left, so you got a car that you can't drive.
Right.
It's just
and I
deteriorating.
can't afford electric, so.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing, I would say, but
I think we were raised with such a different view of the future than kids being raised now, because think about even like cartoons like the Jetsons and stuff. Everything we saw about the future was like your robot is your personal assistant and they make your life easy and you can teleport in 30 seconds and everything and everyone can fly.
Right.
And it just seemed like everything was supposed to be cool and advanced and streamlined in the future, and now I really do feel like most media around the future now granted, I'm not watching things geared towards young kids, obviously, so I could be way off base here in that regard, but when I think about futuristic movies, it's in like a desert, or the world has deteriorated to like ash and nothing.
Like Dune, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Gotta watch it.
Sure, like Dune. Brian's mad at me, everyone listening, because I've still not seen any of the Dune movies with his favorite actor, Timothée Chalamet. He's very mad.
Not my favorite, however, he is a good actor. I don't
Speaking
agree with the
of good
comments.
actors-
Calm it down. Tone it down. Okay.
But speaking of good actors,
is he wrong? No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Can we get?
Yeah.
Can we give a shout out to Mr. Bruce Willis, friend of the channel? This is now what, the 4th or 5th movie we've seen?
He's now the highest. I don't know how to word this.
Most frequently watched.
Yes, most frequently watched, highest. Yeah, for sure. And number 2, I want to is like a big tie, I think.
Yes.
I feel like Keanu Reeves is up there.
Yes.
Leonardo DiCaprio's up there.
Yes.
So,
yep. I think it was the two of them were next.
Yeah.
But it's like not close. Bruce Willis has them beat by several movies.
At least 2 movies.
At least 2, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens down the road. But for now, congrats to Bruce Willis out there on the Pop and Pots Pod Award.
Yeah.
So here, I'll start with, I guess, here's the ratings on Fifth Element. So Rotten Tomatoes is 71%. Popcorn is 87.
There you go.
Metacritic 52.
The Metacritic is always tough.
User is 8.1. And then IMDb is 7.6 out of 10.
Fifth Element really is the definition of like a cult fan favorite, because I don't think critically it did super well, but it has gained such a following, and it's beloved to the people who love it. So
yeah. The good for me, the costumes I liked. It was unique. It was a fun sci-fi. The costumes, like I said, were definitely wild, all out there. I liked that. The action scene, the like shootout with like the opera, that was cool. Tucker and Gary Oldman provided good, like, unhinged behavior. Um, I would say they're like one of the better parts of the movie.
Definitely.
The bad for me was the beginning. Like the first hour just felt slow, kind of lost me a little bit.
Okay.
Leeloo was cool, but I would have liked to see more of her, like, badass nature, I guess is what I'm looking at.
Okay.
And then the tone just felt a little all over the place. So that's kind of my 3 and 3. The ending was fine. I think a nice little twist would be like if she chose to just end humanity after seeing all that stuff that happened.
Yeah.
Overall, like, it didn't fully land with me, but I'm placing it in a realm that I have where I will circle back on it in a couple of years from now and see if my opinions change. So it's not
fair enough.
Get the fuck out of here like a Titan type of thing. So
the worst.
But that's what I had as my notes.
I don't think those are unfair criticisms, like strengths or weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
The plot line is a little bit messy because it's basically broken up into 2 halves. The first half is like the lore building and figuring out who is Leeloo, what is the supreme being, why do I care? And then she meets Bruce Willis and it's like, we won this quote unquote vacation to go get back, right, what you need.
Right.
And it goes from intense lore building and it's very story and character dense. So you're trying to keep up, like, wait a minute, what just happened and who is important here?
Right.
To just like straight insanity with Ruby Rod and all the action and the fight sequence and all of that. So
yes.
I always thought it was kind of cool, and maybe it's just a product of like movies and how they were growing up. There weren't a ton of movies where a supreme being or like the strongest person in the room was a female character. And I think that super resonated with me. Like, hell yeah. Like, Leeloo Dallas. I was Leeloo Dallas for Halloween many years ago. But like,
you showed me that. That was cool.
Yeah, but in the tone of like Lara Croft and even Sigourney Weaver's character in Alien, like, you could count on one hand or 2 hands at that point the number of times you could find somebody you identified with as a female being a super strong character in a movie. And Mila Jovovich was kind of always that character throughout the 90s. In the Resident Evil franchise, she was like that as well. So, I don't know. She was kind of an icon for me in this era. Right. And I thought her and Bruce Willis, this was another instance of like, why we worked a love story in, still kind of scratching my head like why we didn't really need to, but the chemistry between her and Korben and the way he kind of like fell for her and grew to like care for her felt genuine and it didn't feel forced. So overall, I don't know, it was always a fun watch for me. And like you said, I always forget that's Gary Oldman in this movie because he's so insane.
He's so out of his element too.
Yes.
Like, I mean, he's played wild parts, but like this was definitely one that takes the cake.
Yeah,
he hates the movie. He won't watch it. So I guess that tells you all you need to know.
Like I said, I don't think anything you said is unfair. I'm not sitting here trying to say like this is a perfect movie. But it's iconic for me when I think of sci-fi of this time. You know, it's like Matrix, Fifth Element. They're right, and they're so different, but they're both that burned into my brain in terms of this genre and this time frame.
Yeah. And I feel like that happens. Like these movies, when you watch them when you're younger, again, I'm sure for its time, you were like, holy shit, this is awesome. But like coming from this, not seeing it and seeing it for the first time, it's not going to hit the same because so 100%. Much has changed and evolved. Like, and again, yes, like you said, back then the role of like a strong female character wasn't, I don't want to say as common as it is now, but you know, you have these other movies where like Underworld and Kate, I think it's called. There's like that action movie that's pretty cool. Then there's like all the Charlize Theron ones. Like it's different now to me because I'm like, oh, like even like Trinity in the Matrix was badass. You know, like
you took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say the same thing.
But like that's where I'm saying like Leeloo in the movie was like, okay, she's learning. I understand. She's like adapting quick.
Multipass.
I would have liked to see more like do some crazy fight choreography, like something like that. I don't know. Bruce Willis is fine in it. He not to knock him, but he kind of does play the same role in every film.
He does. I don't think that's unfair.
But
like,
yeah.
Korben Dallas and John McClane could live in the same universe for sure.
Right. Both in summer blockbusters but yes, go ahead.
I've had enough. I've had enough of the Die Hard slander. No, I was going to say, thinking, like, I think the only movie of Bruce Willis that we've watched where I genuinely was taken aback by his performance, like, when I first saw it, obviously not on rewatch, but it was The Sixth Sense, because he is such a different character in that movie than what I'm used to in his body of work. That is completely outside of his, like, action main protagonist role that I'm used to seeing him in.
Right.
But even in Pulp Fiction, he's like your tough guy boxer, like, you know what I mean? It's similar. If it's not completely the same, it's in a similar vein to other roles that we've seen him in.
For sure. So I'm changing the name, and I'm not going to call them Fun Facts anymore. So I'm calling them Spill the Popcorn.
Spill
it! So here's what we got for Fifth Element. The Divine Language was created by director Luc Besson and had only 400 words. Him and Mila spent like hours just messaging back and forth, perfecting the language. She is actually fluent in 4 languages. So
I did
something
know that
you and
about
her have in common.
Yes, I'm not fluent in 4 necessarily, but I think that's another reason I always liked her. I'm like, oh, she speaks a lot of languages. That's cool. Maybe subconsciously that's why I wanted to learn so many. Who knows?
Part of my badassdom. I'll just do that. Luc Besson wrote the story in high school, and made the hero a taxi driver in honor of his father, who drove a taxi as a second job to support him through high school.
Oh, that's so cute.
So nice little tidbit.
I love that.
At the start of filming, production decided to dye Mila's hair orange, but due to the fact that her hair had to be re-dyed regularly to maintain the color, Mila's hair became too damaged and broken to withstand the dye. This led to a wig being created to match the color of her hair.
As a girly who dyed her hair for many years, I 100%, but I had to stop dyeing my hair because it was so damaged. I was terrified it was just going to break and fall out. And a color like that isn't one that you could just... You've got to bleach first, then you have to do the color.
And it doesn't last.
No, that stuff washes out in like a shampoo, maybe 2.
Right.
So that makes sense to me.
The movie was supposed to be a trilogy, but Luc Besson condensed it to 3 scripts into 1. So it ended up being 1 movie. So maybe that's where you're kind of feeling, like you said, like the first part versus the second part of the movie.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. Good on him, though. Let's normalize. You don't need to make 17 sequels to your original movie in all cases. Some movies, like whenever I think of trilogies, I think of my fave, the Batman Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan trilogy. So good. And like, I think the third movie in the trilogy suffered because of Heath Ledger's passing, but I don't blame Chris Nolan or any of the actors for that. I think that was just the unfortunate
Passing
byproduct of
Heath.
losing a great. Yeah.
Yeah.
But none
do
of those
you feel in charge? You mean Tom Hardy didn't do it for you?
Listen, I love Tom Hardy, fine. And I don't hate The Dark Knight Rises at all. I think the whole trilogy is quite good, but
Right.
it's getting fucking out of control with all of these sequels and prequels and reboots. We've talked about this ad nauseum, so I'm not going to go on and on, but that's very interesting that he had prepared for a trilogy and was like, no, you know what? We'll do it in one. Normalize that. Do more of that.
But you think, here's what I'm wondering is, like, back then, they were more, I don't know what the word is. They were more, like, lenient. They were more, not like, we demand a sequel, I guess.
We as in the audience, or we as in the
like
studio,
the movie
or
studio? Like, because there was no telling if this movie was a hit.
Was
so if
gonna
he would have
make
did
money,
one
right,
part
right.
and it bombed, he might have not gotten the other two parts. So...
That's true too.
Because I don't have it here, but I'm pretty sure he had to like do a movie prior to doing this just to get like funding. So, don't quote me on that out there. But anyway.
No, but I mean that makes perfect sense. Like, I feel like now, if you have notoriety as a director or a screenwriter or whatever, you're more likely to get greenlit at the onset. For like,
Right.
okay, we're going to give you a 4-movie deal or whatever the case may be. Back then, you really did have to prove this was going to be commercially successful. Maybe that's why you see so many sequels spaced so far apart as you go through the 90s and the early aughts, because it wasn't a package upon creation of the movie. That's an interesting point you just made.
Well, I think it was Quentin Tarantino who said it, like, every era just kind of goes in its waves of, like, where they just want sequels and prequels, or they'll, like, want to take a chance on originality. Sadly, I think right now we're kind of we're in the era of, like, remakes and sequels. So, I don't know. We'll see. Mel Gibson was the first choice for Korben Dallas.
What?
Prince, yeah. And Prince was the first choice for Ruby Rod.
Ruby Rod, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Chris Tucker brought a certain unhingedness to Ruby Rod that I don't know that Prince would have brought in the same way, but I could totally see Prince in that role. The second you said his name, I'm like, obviously he would have been Ruby.
He said, though, it was scheduling issues. So this, like, a bunch of sites were saying it was scheduling issues, but then a bunch others were saying he hated the costumes, so he passed. So I'm like, that's interesting.
That is
for him
interesting
to say,
because he wore some unique costumes throughout his career.
Right.
Interesting.
A fake leg on a stick was utilized, held just below the frame for high kicks when Mila was doing fight scenes because she couldn't get her leg that high.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's a choice.
But that's all I got for Fifth Element. So
those are fun though. Mel Gibson is an insane choice in maybe because I could only ever like, I know Bruce Willis is Korben Dallas, so I can't picture anybody else playing him. But if I had to pick somebody else, it would not be Mel Gibson. That is
I
for
can
sure.
kind of see it.
No, get out of here. Absolutely not.
I mean, he played like a similar kind of character to like Bruce Willis.
What?
I'm not a big Mel Gibson guy, but I mean, I think he could have played the role.
No, I don't.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm scrambling because I'm thinking of like Braveheart, and then there's like Lethal Weapon, but I don't know. I think he could have. But
see, I think of Mel Gibson and I think of like Signs.
I thought you were gonna say
And that's
Passion of the Christ.
no signs. Or like what women want. I don't know. I don't think of anything that would put him in a comparable character to a Korben Dallas type.
Okay.
We're coming from two completely different perspectives.
Yeah. Listen, we're amateur moviegoers here of Mel Gibson's work, so don't kill us here in the comments. But so there's that. I mean, Starship Troopers we watched yesterday, so it's fresher on my mind.
Fair.
My thoughts on the movie is that it's a fair movie. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's great, is like how I'll put it. It was entertaining enough. I was able to stomach it better than I was Fifth Element.
Yikes. It really sounds like you hate The Fifth Element the way you talk about it. Jeez.
I'm sorry. I didn't hate The Fifth Element.
I couldn't even stomach it.
Miss me with that. No.
No, I'm sorry though. Keep going.
We both agree. I think there was too many fight scenes. I think you could have cut it down a little bit.
A lot.
If the movie was a solid hour and a half, you would have nailed it home better.
I agree.
The parts that were just awkward was the love story was so beyond bad.
Oh my God, painful.
So beyond bad.
Painful.
I don't know what it is with these 90s movies, especially ones that we've watched, where their story is so convoluted and they don't make sense. Like, you could just make it simple. Just make it simple. Have, like, high school crush, goes away to college, and then he goes off into his, and then maybe they meet later. Simple.
And they have a little meet cute, and we're done.
You had this weird intersecting love triangles that
I know, just bizarre.
That was so unhinged. And the sex scene was the weirdest sex scene I've ever seen in my entire life. Like,
yeah, it was bad.
Really,
truly bad.
You know it's bad when you're just like, when is this over? Like, the whole love scene and the sex scene were both like, when is this over?
Yeah, please make it end.
Like the prom thing that we were talking about, or the coming home dance, whatever the fuck it was. Like, that whole scene was too fucking long.
Entirely too long. Yes.
Yeah. What I did like about it was I did like the like whole propaganda ad. I loved that it was like almost like infomercial-esque in parts. I think it nailed it on that. I know a lot of it, it's like he was like basically making a mockery of it, and I did get it. I do think though it played too much into it where it can be confusing. Like, I can see to the naked eye where it would be kind of confusing to get that point that, oh no, they're like really just making a mockery of everything.
You thought the satire was a little overdone?
Yes. Like, none of the characters really having any kind of realization didn't really like break anything. I think if one of them slightly like had I don't know, change of heart or just something to signal to you like, oh shit, like maybe, because the only thing you really got was like the bug at the end being like, I'm afraid, and that kind of humanizes the bugs to be like, okay, maybe there is something wrong with the humans,
how we're going about things. I think so. I've Starship Troopers is one of those that feels timeless in a way, because I feel like you could play this in the 90s or you could play it today and the satire still hits because it's still relevant in a lot of ways. My two biggest gripes, I will say, it is entirely too long. That movie does not need to be more than 2 hours long. It just the fight scenes, some of the character interactions, they just drag out to an uncomfortable level. And I literally felt myself losing interest. Like, during one of the fight scenes, I picked up my phone to text you probably about it. And I was like, I wonder what's going on like Instagram right now, because I just, they were losing me quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to your point, and this is what made me think of it, there's really no character development. Like, the
No.
characters are very static in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of ways. Like, when you first meet Rico and he's arguing with his dad,
Mm-hmm.
about his dad's like, you're going to Harvard, and he's like, no, I'm going to be a citizen, whatever. Like, it seems like there's going to be a development arc where he thinks, like, I'm going to leave, like, standard convention behind, I'm going to go be a citizen, and then something's going to happen where, you know, he's going to have some realization, and he almost does. Like,
Right, when he's, like, ready
he
to
was
quit.
like, I'm going to quit, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no, like, hero's journey. There's no character arc. Everybody kind of stays where they are when you meet them.
Mm-hmm.
And on Pop and Pos Pod, we're big fans of significant character development, I'll say. It's almost like Rico developed in reverse because he had... I'm struggling to think of a word, like... But he didn't develop. He regressed.
He, like, devolved?
Yes, devolved. That, yes. Because he starts to get to that point of, like, no, this is wrong. Like, this isn't for me. I'm not cut out for this. Now, granted, what compels him to stay is a relatable thing. Like, I'm sure if I saw my parents in my hometown get burned to a crisp, like, that might, in the moment, change the way I'm thinking about things. So I don't want that to be lost either, that they gave him a good reason to stay. It's not like he just woke up and decided he changed his mind.
Right.
But you almost see him going from someone with strong convictions to someone who's just a cog in the machine, almost. Like, he's just a part of the fight and the group that he's with. So... those are the two big things that, like, if I'm going to leverage constructive criticism or what I maybe would have liked to see done different, those are the two things. And, you know, I'm always griping that movies are too long. So this should come as a shock to nobody.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wonder if it's like the 90s cared less about humanizing people than, like, just more about action. You know, because a lot of these action movies, there's not much character development, and there's so far from what we've seen, the love stories are never good. So,
well,
not to say like I need it to be a main part, but like the problem I had with Rico was like, I agree. I thought that part with the parents was good. Then it was weird, like the whole parents did the 180, and it was like, I understand people like would feel that way, but it was like they acted like they were like happy for him. It wasn't believable. It didn't sell it to me. But for me, it was like after that, then maybe quitting. Then it was like he wanted to be the leader, but then like he really was doing it for Carmen. But then it was like Carmen, that love story was just so awkward. Like I don't know, it just she clearly was going for like this, like to be a pilot, and then his whole like I love her, and then she didn't say it back, but then like he did the same thing with Diz, and it was like
I know
I don't know, like you don't win me over that way. Like you didn't redeem yourself in either of the relationships. So and yeah, he was, like you said, another cog in the machine. And it just, like, for him, it would have been cool to see, like, he rises up the ranks. He's really feeling gung-ho. He's, like, going crazy. And then he's the one who realizes, like, they're like, oh, the bug's afraid. And then he's like, oh, like, that's weird.
That's interesting.
That's suspect, yeah. But instead, he was just like, whatever. And then Neil Patrick Harris's character was just, like...
So random.
So random and just emptiness. Like nothing behind those eyes at all.
Nope.
But I'll do the spill the popcorn and the ratings of this.
Okay.
So Starship Troopers is Rotten Tomatoes is 72%. Popcorn is 70. Metacritic is 52. User is 8.0. IMDb is 7.3 and out of 10. And for
very similar to Fifth Element.
Yeah.
I think the audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes for Fifth is pretty significantly higher than this. It's like in the high 80s, but still everything else is very, very comparable.
Right. Working title for the movie was Bug Hunt on Outpost 9.
That's way too
Glad
many
they
words.
changed that.
Yeah.
Paul Verhoeven, the director, found the novel boring and depressing, only making it through a few chapters.
Wow.
It's considered a commercial flop, barely making a return on its $100 million budget. The critics hated the movie. Verhoeven became the arachnids himself, or when an alien presence was required, he would jump on set, screaming and jumping around, laughing at actors in an effort to pump them up.
Oh my God.
CGI was very much in its infancy at that time. Yeah.
Crazy.
Unhinged. Verhoeven's wife taught Jake Busey how to play the violin well enough to pass.
Oh, that's so cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg, James Marsden, and Keanu Reeves were considered for Johnny Rico.
I buy that.
Oh, you buy that? Okay.
I do. Yeah. No Mel Gibson. To no one's surprise.
No Melly Gibbs? All right,
yeah,
fine.
no. He's out. He's out.
What do you give the two movies?
So I'm probably putting Starship Troopers at a high overcast. Like,
Okay.
the sun's really trying to peek through there, because I would recommend it to others, and it is a movie I've rewatched, so it fits. But Fifth Element edges it out for me for sure. It's not quite a clear sky, because it's got its things. It's not perfect, right? But it's a movie I've watched and rewatched, and I love the characters, and it holds a special place for me.
Okay. Let me see.
Oh, God.
I don't want to. No. Yeah, I think I gotta go like Fifth Element. I probably go in a cloudy region, like a high cloudy.
Okay. High cloudy.
Building up towards that overcast, but just not. Overall, I didn't really love anybody in particular. It didn't really
That's fair.
get me. Starship Troopers, I'm gonna go in the overcast range. I think it's a watchable movie. It is something I would recommend, but it's not like, it didn't make me be like, oh, I can't wait to watch this again. Like, I don't know when the next time I'll watch it is, but
Okay.
I did find some of it enjoyable. I do think the practical effects were really well done.
I wasn't gonna let us leave this conversation without bringing that up. They both had pretty cool practical effects and costuming and things like that.
Seeing it has definitely made me like appreciate them a lot more on these like rewatches. Overall, it wasn't like my favorite, but
fair enough.
Not Doomsday, not Black Clouds or anything like that. So just a fine movie. There you have it. But I guess
fun.
the big question on this is these are both considered cult classics. So it got me diving a little bit on like the term of cult classic. So what I have down here is it's frequently break cultural taboos, and many feature excessive displays of violence, gore, sexuality, profanity, or combos thereof. It's a movie that found its audience after its theatrical release, considered a flop in the theater, but gained popularity on TV, rental, and streaming. Can be so bad it's good, low production budget, blends of genres that don't match, heavy use of music, soundtrack, it's catchy. We said this before the podcast. I don't really recall anything memorable about either soundtracks, so I can't give it that. But I don't know. What do you think makes this movie both these movies so like cult classic-ish?
The outfits, I also think, and you said this earlier about Gary Oldman's hatred of the movie. But just some of the like absolute unhinged behaviors of the characters. Some of the, like, I just think it went down as a cult classic because it was a bunch of pieces that shouldn't fit together but did. Like, why was Bilbo Baggins a priest? Why was Gary Oldman a psycho? Like, none of the actors played normal role, with the exception of Bruce Willis, because he's always the same.
Right. It is like a blend of genres too. I feel like that doesn't.
Yeah, it's got like romance, it's got action, it's got sci-fi.
Yeah. I guess some violence. Starship Troopers definitely the violence and the action, for sure.
And the satire of it all. Like, I feel like the social commentary makes it.
Yeah.
You know.
Which is definitely a selling point, because you don't really see that in a lot of movies, like kind of mocking it. But yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of movies out there that's like, oh, that's so bad, it's good. Like, I mean, there's such a huge following for B-rated horror movies, right? And like, people love Sharknado for whatever reason, just because it's so outrageous. So,
all right. So wait, let's reset and go back, because I think it's the over the top outrageous nature of it all. I really do think that's what it is. From the costuming to the acting to the world building, everything is so over the top fantasy that I think if you went to theaters expecting like a Matrix or an Independence Day type thing, that wasn't what you were getting. So I don't know that. I think it bloomed late in terms of people appreciating what the movie did after it did it. You know? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I don't know. To me also, what troubles me with cult classics is you're either going to fall one way or the other on these like swords.
They're polarizing,
Yeah, and I feel like if you miss that boat, like, adios. It's like, you know, we were talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas and stuff. Like, that's like another one that's considered a cult classic. But like, I didn't watch it as a kid. It wasn't like my cup of tea.
These movies are products of the time. Like, if you weren't a fan of them when they were rising to popularity, you're probably not a fan of them now. And if you watch them now, they don't hit the same.
No, because so much has changed. I don't know. This was what's tough about this is, like, we started off with The Matrix, and The Matrix was so high and so good that it's like, not to downplay these movies, but like, going down to these two next has been kind of tough,
jarring.
But yeah, I'm not like, I mean, I'm happy I watched them. They're movies I wanted to watch, so, you know, definitely, you know, glad we did it, but it's not the sci-fi summer I was expecting. So
I also think all three movies are sci-fi in a completely different way. Like, Fifth Element is your mythical being that came from the rocks and aliens and all of this very sci-fi lore heavy story. The Matrix is like futuristic sci-fi. It's almost like Ghost in the Shell sci-fi. Like, you're in a prosthetic body, you're in a different world when you're in it. So the Matrix is sci-fi, but in a completely different way than the Fifth Element. And then Starship Troopers is sci-fi in that they're fighting these bugs and it's a war. But like, outside of that, and we said this earlier, if you strip some of those elements away, at its core, it's not a sci-fi movie, it's an action movie. More than it is. And it's like, an action movie with sci-fi elements to it, you know?
You said it best. Like, you might have said it before the podcast, but if you took out the bugs and you made them humans, it would just be like a war movie.
Right.
But, yeah. So, we got one more to go on our list.
Yes. I forgot we had one more in Sci-Fi Summer.
Yeah. We're going to conclude with Star Wars Episode 1. So, that'll be our next watch, which I think it'll be better. I mean, I like the movie, so
I of the prequel trilogy, that's the only one I truly enjoyed.
Yeah, but
and
maybe
I love Star Wars.
Right.
But we'll dive in after we do episode
we get
1.
there to that point. But, all right. So as for these movies, like, which one do you think would do better if it was remade today?
Starship Troopers.
Yeah, probably.
It has relevancy and staying power based on the messaging behind the movie. So I think it would still feel relevant if it was remade today.
Okay.
And I think that would be more appealing than if The Fifth Element was remade.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Starship Troopers also appeals to a broader audience because it leans so much more into action than sci-fi. Like, sci-fi, admittedly, you're getting a more niche audience. It's like horror, like we talk about all the time. You can get a lot of people to see an action movie if you cast the right people and you market it the right way. But sci-fi, horror, some of these other more niche genres, like, marketing isn't necessarily going to get more butts in chairs. You have to be into the subject matter, you know?
True. And the other thing is like, I mean, I do think it would be a lot different if they did Starship Troopers again. I do think it would be a lot more serious.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would be a lot darker.
Yeah, I see that.
I don't see any good this or that's for this one, so...
Yeah, I also tried to find us some fun this or that, but I was struggling to find any, because it's like, I think it's because the movies are so different that doing a, like, would you rather John Rico or Korben Dallas be your sidekick? It's like they're two completely different characters with completely different goals. Like, I'm just gonna pick the one I like better.
Yeah.
You know, it none of the this or that's felt like there was anything meaningful to discuss. It was just kind of like, pick which movie or which character you like better, and that's your answer.
Right. But yeah, all right. So there you have it. There's our two watches. I do want to conclude on a little bit here. Randomly popped in my brain, and I hit you with this in a text. It's just, I think nachos are overrated. I don't think it's appealing. It's not. It's like you go out and everybody gets nachos. Depending on how the plate sits, somebody's got a better spot of like where the good cheese or the stuff on top is. You're always pulling from the bottom, and let's be honest, the bottom has like one bean on like half a grain of cheese. It's like, are you even like enjoying this? Like, it's just slop on a plate. I'd rather have like a taco or a burrito than just like, give me chips and give me the dip. Like, put all the ingredients of nachos in a separate dip and let me pick out of it myself. That would be more fulfilling. Then I'm getting more bang out of my chip.
Bro, you're eating nachos wrong. Like, this is a baffling argument to me, because if you're using your chips as intended to dip in your nacho toppings with the cheese that has melted upon them, you're accomplishing what do you want them to you want them to give you a plate of chips with just slop in a bowl?
But not every place layers it the same. Some is just like, here's chips, and then they just put the slop on top, and then that's it. Then you gave me a bag full of Tostitos with fucking nothing. It's like, if you properly put some shit on it, layer like a fucking lasagna, then now we're cooking. But
I will give you that not all nachos are created equal, and if you're having them at a place or by somebody who doesn't know how to layer a nacho, it can dampen the nacho eating experience. But I'm a big fan of nachos. I love them. So I don't get this hatred. It's very confusing. I feel like you're just eating nachos wrong. Like, maybe you need to figure that. Maybe that's a user error.
I don't order them. That's simple and plain.
So why are you getting so heated about it?
because I went out recently and they ordered nachos, and it
Oh,
came, and I was like, I don't need this. It's fine. Like, I'll have the bread.
all right.
Whatever.
Well, I do love a bread basket, but I think nachos are a really fun appetizer.
Well, sure, each their own, you know. But
What is your all right? So, what appetizers don't enrage you? We know you're not sharing either way. You've made that very clear. So maybe
I did, however, recently. All you fans out there, I have recently shared a dessert. Okay, it was a piece
Yay!
of chocolate cheesecake. This thing was like the
Nice.
size of my head, but yeah. I got through a few bites. Said, hey,
Well done.
have at it. So
I'm proud of you.
we
That's
are
big.
progressing here on
That's
Pop
big.
and Pos. Appetizers wise, I love a little Moz stick, potato skins, wings. That's all good. I don't really have much that I hate. Clearly
Except
nachos. Yes, but I don't know.
Lord.
But other than that, I'm pretty fine with like everything else. I do hate, however, now that they're like the appetizer prices are becoming the same prices as
Oh
entrees.
yeah, they're wild.
Like,
Yeah.
no, the whole
Uh-huh.
point was I was trying to get them for cheaper.
Right.
So,
I was just gonna have a little app and a little
Right.
drinky and move on with my life. Now you might as well order an entree. You're right.
right. It's like they got too pissed that people just being like, I'm just going to have the appetizer as my meal. I'm like, well, fuck you. We're going to charge you as a meal then. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, the whole out to eat experience, man, is changing. It's like,
Yeah.
it's getting so
Definitely.
expensive, and this is what I'm going to say. I don't care about, like, I know that there's this big thing where, you know, nobody wants to work these jobs anymore. But to me, it's so crazy how much it's changed. Like, when we were working in retail, if you were on your phone, it was like you cursed
Punishable
out
by
somebody.
death. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
You had to greet customers. They had that whole crazy, like, oh, the secret shopper came this month. And
Yes.
guess what?
Yes.
You fucked it up, dipshit. Like,
Oh my
now-
God, secret shoppers were the worst. The worst. Ugh.
and you're like, what the fuck? Like, what? Now it's like they don't even look at you and they don't even give a shit. It's like they can't be bothered with you. Just throw your shit in a bag.
I've gotten pretty like if I go out to eat, this is excluding like I ordered pickup and I went to go pick it up, but I don't know. I feel like maybe it's because one of the biggest things that makes me a repeat sit down dining customer is your service. Like
Right.
obviously quality of the food is important, but I don't know. I've been very lucky in having some really outstanding customer service experiences. But the cost of going out to eat has gotten absurd.
Yeah.
I'd rather just eat girl dinner in my house, like a couple crackers, maybe a little cube of cheese situation. So just a snack plate. I love a snack plate. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why I love nachos. I just love snacks. Snacks are like my favorite thing in the world.
Well, quick shout out to Outback because they have like a quick credit card machine, by the way, and it's phenomenal.
What do you mean?
I hate the in between. I think I might have said it on a prior episode, but I hate the in between time it takes for when I'm done with my dinner and the time for you to come around and give me the check and then to come around to give me the receipt when it's done. Outback has a nice little weird shaped iPad, whatever, and you like just swipe the card, done, you
And you
pay,
leave.
you leave. Yeah.
Nice,
It's a
nice.
beautiful thing.
That's a good system.
It is. It is.
That wait in particular is brutal. Like, I don't mind the wait between when I order and when my food comes out because you expect like they're preparing food. It's going to take some time. But when you're sitting with your empty plate in front of you, like, and it's like it smells like old food here now, and I don't want to be here anymore. I just want to go home. And you're
Right.
trying to like get someone's attention, like, for the love of God, can someone just bring my check, please? And nobody wants to give you the time of day. that is the worst wait imaginable.
Yeah. And I have such bad anxiety with like the tipping culture of these days of just like,
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you just like, I ordered my drink, like you did your job, like that's like I don't know, I'm supposed to give you $1 for ringing me up, like I don't know.
I know I struggle because I also if I frequent your establishment often and I like you, I'm going to tip well. That's just how I am.
Yes, of course.
But like some of the, like, to your point, if I drive through and you hand me my coffee out a window, like I feel uncomfortable. I'm like, should I be tipping for this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a lot. But there's a guy at my local bagel place that like always gives you a look if you don't
Really?
tip anything. And I'm just like, I'm not doing it. But also now with all these like self-checkouts, and I don't know if you have it at your CVS pharmacy, but like now they have like a do-it-yourself iPad,
yes.
right?
Yep.
So, you know, I'm not the most tech savvy guy, but I'm pretty with it, I would say. So, but like there's a pharmacist lady there that I cannot stand.
Oh God.
So like there's like 3 iPads set up. So one is being used and then there's 2 others.
Yeah.
One of them is clearly broken because the screen is just like glitching out, like going into the matrix itself. So I go to the other one, I start like typing everything, and like it's stuck on like putting in my birth date, and it like won't go through. So then finally the person that was using the other one leaves. So I go and try the other one, and it's like not going through for some reason. So I'm like,
oh my God.
Yeah, great. So then she comes up and just looks at me like, are you dumb? Can you not figure that? I'm like, listen, I tried all of these and they don't work. So I don't know what to tell you. And she gave me the dirtiest look. She's like, well, what's your name then? And I was like, so I tell her my name. I get the item. She doesn't even look at me and just tosses the thing at me.
Oh my God.
And I go, not to pull a Karen, but I was like, have a nice day. And I walked out. I don't know.
Oh man. No, that's rough. Like, I already don't want to be interacting with anybody. Like, I prefer self-checkout and do it yourself. Like, don't make it painfully uncomfortable for me if I do end up in a situation where I have to interact with you.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. But that's what we got for today. So we got one more, like I said, on the Sci-Fi Summer, Part 3 with Star Wars Episode 1. Looking forward to it before we head into a mystery. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
But for now, keep your popcorn popping.
And your possibilities endless.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.